Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about a topic that I've gotten a lot of questions about, and I think it can be a bit confusing for people. And that is Google Ads and keyword selection. So first of all, Google Ads is obviously a very big topic, and running a successful Google Ad campaign is quite tricky. Despite what Google sort of suggests, it's not easy to just turn on some ads and make money, otherwise everyone would be doing it. So what I'm going to do now is sort of break down, in a series of videos, some different components of Google Ads and what you need to think about. So before we do that, let's take a step back and talk about the big picture. And that is what are the key components of a successful Google Ads campaign? And those are the keywords. That's what people are searching for. The ads, those are what people see and click on to come to your website. And the landing page, and that's where people end up on your website, so that they can learn more about your business and hopefully reach out to you. So those are the three main elements that you need to get right. Now, each of those can be quite tricky to optimize. So we're going to start now with keywords. This won't cover the entire topic of keywords, but it will allow you to understand how you think about choosing the right keywords. So when you're thinking about what keywords to choose, you have to think about your target market. That is, what areas do you focus on as a recruiter, and where do you operate, or where would you like to operate? So we're going to use an example of Menlo Partner Staffing. They are if we scroll down, they're a specialty recruitment firm, and they have the following areas of focus: accounting, finance, human resources, and marketing. Okay, so we've settled this point. Those are going to be our areas of focus because that's what our business does. Now let's think about location. They list themselves as being in Silicon Valley, Menlo Park. Obviously, they say the Bay Area in their title. We're going to think a little bit broader for them because we want to make sure that this campaign has a large enough reach, and we're going to think about California as a whole. Okay? So now when I think about California, I can obviously think about it at the state level, or I can think about the different cities. So what I want to do next is figure out, okay, what are the biggest cities in California that I want to target? And so, this is a pretty simple way of figuring it out. Find this Wikipedia article. In this case, I'm going to pick the top, I believe, 8. Okay, so from Los Angeles all the way down to Oakland. Okay, so I know where I want to target, and I know what I target, areas of focus. What's next? Well, this is where it can get, a little bit tricky because we know that, we have to figure out how people are searching for your business. And so what we've done at Talenteer is we've actually come up with a long list of search terms that people use to find a recruiting or staffing firm. In this particular video, we've combined the recruiting and staffing terms. You may want to consider targeting only one set of those terms, recruiting or staffing. So this tool that we've built, it's not overly complicated, but what it does is a few things. It takes in all the keywords that people use, then it takes in the type of, your area of focus. These are the areas that you're recruiting, and then the cities that you're targeting, okay? And then what it does is it combines them in all the different combinations possible. So basically, type keyword means headhunters, accounting headhunters, finance headhunters, human resources headhunters. And it does that for all these different variations. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of results. When we run this tool, we can see that there's 10,000 keywords in here, and then there's almost 3,000 here. So there's almost 13,000 different permutations of these keywords. Now this tool is something that we've built. If you'd like us to run something for you, send us an email and we can probably help you out. Okay, so we have all these keywords. Well, what do we do next? The next thing we do is go into Google Ads Keyword Planner. Okay, now we basically get search volume and forecasts. We paste in our keywords. We can only do 10,000 at a time. And it's a lot of keywords to paste. And we click Get Started. Okay. Now I know this process can sometimes take some time. So what I've actually done is I've actually exported all the results already. Okay, and you can see those here. And what we found is that if we restrict our search just to California, we see that these keywords are searched 4,340 times per month. So that is a lot of potential leads right there, right? So that sort of takes us to the second part of our agenda, the keyword volume. How many people are actually searching? And now, basically, what we know from this initial exercise is we definitely have enough people in our target market who are looking for recruiters to run an effective campaign. And let's think about how we break these numbers down a little bit further, because there's a little bit more to it than what you might see. So this is 4,340 monthly searches. And we can actually see roughly how many of these have any searches and how many don't. If we sort by like that, we can see that staff accountant, HR staffing, recruitment marketing, HR recruiter, accounting temp agencies, we can kind of see where we get the most volume from. I'm just going to put this back because I need these numbers here. And so we do have to think about this a little bit further. One thing is that a lot of people searching for recruiters are potential candidates. And we don't necessarily want those people, clicking on our ads, and they don't really count for much. Unless, of course, you're going after candidates, in which case this may not apply to you. But basically, we found that the ratio is 5 to 1. For every 5 candidates who search for a recruiter, there's about 1 client lead. So basically, what that means is, of these 4,340 searches, approximately 723, based on the Google Ads data, is going to be for clients. Okay, still not bad. Now we have to figure out what actually happens in the real world. So one thing that's really important to note is that people don't search just like this, right? They might, if we look at the actual data, and we've done that many times, people do many, many different things that you wouldn't expect, like put in account executive recruiter and their zip code, or a small region within their city, like a neighborhood, or changing the order of these words in ways that we didn't capture. And what we find is that when we look at the data, the number of searches that actually happens in our target market tends to be about 5 times greater than what we have in this data set. So that means that if we multiply 5 times, 4,340, we get the total number of searches. And if we look at how many searches are by client, all we have to do is multiply 5 times 723, and we see that there's actually probably around 3,600 searches for this client. If you get about 3% click-through rate, meaning about 3% of people click on your ads, you're going to get about 110 new client leads to your website every month with this campaign. So that's, you can see, can make a pretty meaningful difference to your business. Now, the key question, which we haven't discussed in this analysis because it goes beyond this video, is what percentage of those become your clients, and that's really up to a lot of other factors that we'll talk about in later videos. But as you can see, there's a real opportunity here for this business, and we can actually prove it with these numbers. And that's the beauty of this analysis, is we're not really guessing whether this will work. We kind of know that the volume is there. So how does this relate back to SEO? Well, one thing we can do is think about, well, how many people would I get for SEO if I was actually ranking, for these keywords? Because remember how Google works. Obviously, you see the ads at the top, and then the organic results are right below. So let's imagine somebody, this is not really possible, who ranks the first spot for every single one of these keywords, and the first spot tends to get clicked about 20% of the time. That means that you would have 720 new client clicks every month to your website, which would obviously make a dramatic difference to any business. But even if we're going to be a little more realistic and say you're in the 4th to 6th spot and getting about 5% of the clicks, you still can see that, any business who got 180 client clicks would be making tens of thousands of dollars in additional revenue. So you can really see the power of SEO and why it's so valuable. Now, these are obviously very different approaches, Google Ads or SEO, and they have very different costs associated with them, effort levels, and many other considerations. But this data really supports the validity of both of them. So I hope this sort of video, I know there's a little bit more math than maybe some people are comfortable with, and I recognize this could be a little bit challenging to follow, but I hope you get the general gist here, which is that, there is a way to do this keyword research and to figure out who in your target market is searching for your business and how often they're doing that, and whether it's worth your time to go after these types of searches. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at zach@talentheromedia.com, or just leave a comment below and we'd be happy to answer that for you. Thanks for watching.